Hi, everyone. This is Caroline Speaks, the State of Our World on uh, Saturday, July 2nd, 2022. So, what is it? Good, bad, or indifferent? All three. Okay. Now, what are some of the things happening in the world? Well, we know the world is in a mess. Uh, Bad things happening. Um, the war in Ukraine is ongoing forever. So here's hoping that things will get better. Um, there is, it's very important to go out and vote. This is primary season now. Primaries have been held and are being held all over the country and all the states, and it's very important to vote. To exact. You're a citizen, so go out and vote. If you don't vote, then can't complain about what happens. Okay, now, okay, so that's interesting. Uh, if you don't vote, you can't complain about the results of an election. You have to participate. It's very, very important. Okay, the election day is in November 2022. You have to go and vote. Um, if you can't make a choice on all the candidates and all the propositions, just vote for the ones that you kind of understand. Vote in some way. Very important. Okay. Now, coronavirus is still going strong. I myself had the Johnson & Johnson one shot. I had two sore arms and I was tired for a week. Then I was fine. Um, I've been looking around for a while for a booster. Haven't found one that's appropriate for me, but I will eventually. Okay. Now, that's some of the stuff. Now the first African American female Supreme Court justice was sworn in yesterday. Yes. No, I'm sorry, Thursday. So that's a real milestone. Okay. Now, we talked about a lot of things. There's a Dutch doctor we talked about yesterday. She is helping expand abortion access by mailing safe and legal pills worldwide. You know that Republicans are like really well. They're anti-women. Uh, the Republicans seem to want to, and these right-wing conservatives want to control women in everything. They don't get it that people do have choices. And if you don't like their choices, that's too bad. But they do have choices. Um, it's time for people to acknowledge that because that is the way it is. Okay. Um, okay. Now, but that's the way it is. State laws are trying to control women's bodies. They want to end abortion on demand. Who knows? They might go after birth control and same gender marriage and segregation, unsegregated societies, and marrying people, interracial marriage. Who knows what they're going to do? But it's a very, very sad commentary of what's happening. You know, all over the world, people are struggling and they need help. Not just in the war zones like in Ukraine, but in Russia, the people are suffering. In the Western Sahara, which is controlled by Morocco, treating the people brutally. In Palestine, the Palestinians are horribly treated by the Israelis. So, life is hard. And in the southern, people complaining about our southern border, U.S. southern border with Mexico, as if there's no other border in the country. There are borders all over. But for some reason, they want people to come over to work when they need them and then leave when they don't need them anymore. They did that with when they built the railroads in the 1800s. The Chinese came over, built the railroads, and then the white people, the white Americans, wanted them to leave and go back to China. The Japanese came over to Hawaii to help with the farming. Um, and then once things got settled, they wanted Japanese people to leave. Uh, they wanted people to come over during World War II from Latin America when, all the men, American men, white men, were in the war. And then they wanted to go back to Mexico or wherever they came from after the war was over. So it's been a constant struggle. Now, you have to treat others as you'd like to be treated. That's the golden rule. Now, okay, we kind of talk about this every day. There are different types of headlines. But basically, females should have the right to choose when and if they will have children. No one should be deciding for them. And if there is some kind of a problem with the pregnancy, they want to be able to have an abortion. Maybe I don't know how many of you know that a lot of people have what they call miscarriages, and for some reason, the woman can't continue to have a pregnancy with their expectant child. And in some states, they want to call that murder if you have a miscarriage. That's your fault. And then also, sometimes a baby is born but doesn't live very long. My grandmother had her first child in Hungary, and the child was born. They thought the child was a girl. She was doing okay, and she only lived for a few days. But in today's America, she might be considered a criminal. We might accuse her of killing her child. Now, my aunt, Charlotte, her first child was a boy, and he didn't live very long either. But he was born. They thought it was okay, and then he just didn't survive. And then there are women who have a pregnancy full term, and then something happens in childbirth, and the woman, the mother, passes away. There's all kinds of problems. So that's very, very serious, very heavy. So being pregnant is not an illness, but you have to treat people well. You have to treat people well all their life and to keep them healthy. And when they are expecting a baby, you have to provide them with all the health care that they need. And then when the baby is born, you have to provide the baby with all the health care the baby needs. And the baby will need a place to live, food to eat, um, um, electricity, heat, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into the world. And you can't just tell someone you can't end your pregnancy if there was a problem. If someone is raped or is raped through incest, then who you want to carry that baby for all those months? No. So I don't know, and there are different types of difficulties with pregnancies, and they also all have to be addressed. But the woman's choice should have the choice of what they do and what their health care is. Okay. Now, what that's our little lecture for today. But the right-wing people, mainly the Republicans, don't want to provide care for people. Once the baby's born, they want to forget about the baby. For some reason, right-wing people want to control women, females, no matter what um, their race is. Okay, how about a little music? Okay, close the door, light the lights. We're staying home tonight, far away from the bustle and the bright city lights. Let them all fade away. Just leave us alone, and we'll live in a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our troubles will leave far behind us there, and I know we will find such peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. Okay, that was A World of Our Own, written by Tom Springfield of the Springfields Folk Group, which included his sister Dusty Springfield, who went on to become an international singing star. And World of Our Own was recorded by Dusty Springfield and also by the Seekers. Okay, thank you for tuning in this evening of Saturday, July 2nd, 2022, for another Me of Carry On Speaks Set of World. I hope you join us again tomorrow. Take care of yourself and others. Wear a mask, practice social distancing, and a vaccine is available for you. So if you take it, I would take it. I had mine. Now I'm looking for that poster. Okay. Remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you. Good night. Stay safe. See you all.